Okay, in this video we are going to see that how to update styles of various DOM elements programmatically. So we have seen that some items are there in the list, right? And what we want to do is that yeah, these all items are normal and looks like default color black because we have not done anything. But what if we want to change style or let's say color for anything, right? CSS related properties we want to change, right? So one way is that one way is like we already know that we know set attribute, right? So what if we have some class, let's say dot green, and which will mean that my color is, let's say, green. It's just a class name, right? And in a similar manner, let's say some blue is also there, where it will mean that that text is going to be blue. Okay, and then you can write simply something like what you are already doing. Just I can take advantage of HTML rather than CSS, which means that in HTML only, if I insert this class and I'm inserting an attribute called class, and that class attribute value should be class is equal to what we have to write. Let's say blue, right? Then the attribute class is equal to blue will be assigned to that element, right? And then we already have class blue, right? Which means that its color will be blue. And then when we'll refresh, then we see that all this has become blue, right? You can clearly see that class is equal to blue has been applied, and basically we have not changed any css we have separately defined, and simply like whatever HTML attribute set attributes thing is there, from that only we set simply this attribute called class. And now you can understand that yeah, so dynamically, let's say after some time you can make it red or something like that automatically, right? And for that matter, you can see that you can have conditionals also here. So let's say if I mod to, let's say, equal to 0, then make it blue, otherwise I'm going to make it green. And we know that this green is not color, this green is class name, right? Any class name you can have, but in our case the green is the class name. Okay, so if we do that, then we will see that all which are even 2 4, they have become blue, and others have become green, right? Okay, fine. So this is one way where we are directly trying to change the trying to change the class. We already have the class name, and we are simply assigning an attribute. That's all. Now, now what to do? Can we directly tamper dynamically with the class object rather than like this thing? Because let's say we don't want to have some already defined style, right? Here only we want to create style. So how to do that? Yeah, so it turns out that is also pretty simple. What you have to do is that on item, that element, actually already there is a style attribute already there, right? And on that style, all the things are already there. So you can see that various things which we already saw. It's just that it's just that we are trying to access it using JavaScript. So all the variables which we already saw, most of them what I think all of them will be available here directly, right? So you can see color, background color, or whatever, everything will be available. So whatever CSS we learned, we can directly apply here. So for that matter, let's say color is equal to red, and that is all. That's all we need to. You can see that the color has become red, right? And yeah, what if I want to make background color some. Okay, so let's say my background color, right? So background color. Now you can see that in the CSS we had what? We had like a hyphenated thing, right? So background color, like this it was there, right? Now this sort of thing, this background hyphen color, this sort of thing is not valid, right? Like as a dot property you cannot use this in JavaScript, right? And that's why this camel cased style is already available there, where you can simply write, let's say, a light gray, right? And then it can convert the background color of all the elements to light gray, okay? And however, that thing is also available, what we already saw in CSS. So instead of this, you cannot do something like this, right? That is invalid error, right? Means background color when this is not fine. So what we want is that either we use camel cased background color, or we can use something like this, item dot style and then background color is equal to light gray, right? So this will also work. So you can see that this is also working. And definitely the better version will be this only, okay? So the point is that we are trying to assign color to all of them, but wouldn't it be better if we just assign it to elements which are odd, so that that sort of alternate gray and that color feeling is should come, right? So if that is odd, if the elements item IDs are odd, then it is going to be gray background, otherwise it is normal, right? So this is sort of alternate background text. So yeah, and again you can explore a lot of things in this. All the variables will be available, and some advanced concepts are also there, but this is the basic idea where you can tamper with native JavaScript styles. So you can see that whatever you set here, background color, then that becomes automatically available as style, and then background you can see this light gray, right? So the point is that you could have very well written it as like your own style attribute. So so that is the third way you could have done, right? But then so you understand what I'm trying to say, that the first way was that class attribute we are writing, right? Second way was that we directly tampered with the style dot style attribute, right? But the third way is that I can directly take this, and let's say for a particular item, let's say if that item is let's say query selector, and then you are trying to get this thing, right? Item, let's say 3. So now I have that item, right? Now on that item I could very well do this third thing, set attribute, and then I know that style attribute sets the class, right? So I could have done something like this also, right? So style, and that style, the value will be what, in quotes, this background color, this thing, right? So you can see that this thing is also working. So you can understand that once you know all the ways, then any way which feels comfortable to you, that you can use. But the idea is that there are many ways in which you can dynamically change the style of various HTML elements programmatically. Okay, so that will be all for this video. We'll come up with some next topic in the next one.